Now, a big sports story at the moment is that the Supreme Court has come down hard on the BCCI. This is with regards to the Lodha recommendations, and this is what the Supreme Court told the BCCI today. These recommendations deserve respect. Best course is to fall in line and carry out the suggestions. This is not a second innings for you. It's all over. Now remember, some of the state association of the BCCI were not keen to implement this, and that is why the Supreme Court had to come out on the BCCI today. The next hearing is scheduled for the 3rd of March. Now, in January this year, the 3-member committee had recommended that no office bearer of the BCCI can hold a post for more than 3 terms with a cooling off period after each term. No office bearer of the BCCI can be above 70 years of age. Also, that no office bearer can be a minister or government servant. This, though, is not applicable to members of the parliament, like BCCI secretary is one. The committee also recommended that no office bearer of the BCCI can hold 2 posts. N. Srinivasan, remember, at one point was the president of the BCCI and also the president of the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association. Also, one more association will have to be there per state, and they will only get a chance to vote. This affects states like Maharashtra and Bengal, which have multiple voting members. All right, and this is what the petitioner's lawyer had to say after what the Supreme Court said today.
They have come down heavily on the BCCI, and they've made it clear that there has to be structural change within the BCCI. The old power centers which have been holding on to their positions, they have to go, and there has to be an overhaul within the system. Any order which is passed by the Supreme Court, all authorities within the country have to come in aid of that. So therefore, the Supreme Court is aware of its powers, and it has all powers to do full justice to see to it that its orders are implemented.
For more on this story, I'm joined by my colleague Siddharth Pandey. Siddharth, thanks so much for joining us. Now, the Supreme Court has said in no uncertain terms that it's all over for you. This is exactly what they've told the BCCI. But is it all over for the BCCI, or do they have any sort of legal recourse with them?
Well, I think they got very little wriggle room. The fact is that the Chief Justice was absolutely clear when he said it's all over for the BCCI. They have to fall in line. Enough is enough. And the fact is that, of course, as you said, Lodha Committee has come out with these really landmark, recommendations which literally change the face of BCCI, and that's something the court really wants to see implemented. The Chief Justice himself saying that we see no reason why not to actually implement all these recommendations. The BCCI said that they have a legal committee which is going to be meeting on the 7th of this month. Because the BCCI is a society registered in Chennai, there would be implications as to how to register it or how to change the shape. Chief Justice said we have no problems at all. We'll make it easy for you. We'll ask Lodha Committee to once again tell you how to do this, way to register, way to deregister. There's absolutely clear that the writing on the wall is absolutely clear as far as the Supreme Court said. So in fact, I think the line is completely drawn now. They have till the 3rd of March by which they'll have to come back to the court. But the Supreme Court making it absolutely clear to the BCCI that this time around it's final, no second inning. And very quickly, one more important observation they had is that there are certain people who hold powerful posts. Obviously, they may have certain issues once that power goes, but that's something which they'll have to live with.
Okay, Siddharth, the people within the BCCI may argue that it's a private organization. We understand that this is the apex court that we're talking about, but do they have any sort of jurisdiction over a private body to ensure that they change their constitution? Isn't that, like, in a sense, attacking their autonomy?
Well, the fact, of course, is that's something that the BCCI has said often in the past, but the court has eventually said that cricket is religion in India. The fact is that everyone watches it. This is something that Indians love. So clearly this is something which is bigger than any one particular institution. And that's something that the various petitioners have also argued in court, be it to get the BCCI under the Right to Information Act or even just getting some kind of transparency in the organization. The fact is that Indians worship cricket, and that's why we need to try and clean up the act is what the petitioners have said. The Supreme Court clearly now weighing in on that particular side. The mood of the court, the Chief Justice, absolutely abundantly clear, saying that please tell your client, the BCCI, to be realistic. We expect you to come back on the 3rd of next month, and we have no reason why not to go ahead and actually accept all these recommendations. Right. If there are any issues, we can ask the Lodha Committee to once again help you have to implement this, is what the court said.
Right, Siddharth. We leave it at that. Thanks so much for all these details.